Welcome to the Dr. Renee Sunday Show. I am Dr. Renee Sunday, the platform builder. So you know what we do here? We bring value. That's the first thing. That you and me, I'm in the boat with you, right? That we can actually have awareness. Then we can go to the process of change because we want to be the best version of what? Of ourselves. We're not trying to be anybody else. We just want to be what we were created to be. And that'll make you do a Arsenio moment right there, a aha moment. Because the thing is, I love social media. You know, we always on there doing something, right? But the thing is, we need to know that we have a uniqueness. That something you do, something I do, and the next person that they can't even do, right? Some things I can't do. You would not see me trying to make a website. You would not see me trying to do a flyer. It's just certain things you ain't going to see me do. But if I can motivate you and inspire you, guess what? I'm your girl, okay? But we want to stop a minute and say thank you. Thank you for supporting us in all the things that we do, from downloading us on the iTunes. You way over there on YouTube, our website, and, of course, social media. We thank you for believing in us. We really do. And guess what? We believe in you. Well, it does take the whole village, just like it said, right? But we want to actually thank you for that. But we don't want to delay. We have an amazing powerhouse with us today. We have author Tori Lynn. You know, she's a bomb.com, as the kids say. I know they got a new word now. I got to learn the new word. I think it's dope now, isn't it? But she's a best-selling author. She's an inspirational speaker. She's an actress. Guess what? She's a filmmaker. You see what I'm saying? So we want to listen. Get our pen and paper now. If you miss something, you can always go back to the replay. But we want to listen what she has to say because she's going to drop some information that we need to listen, one. We need to then apply to our life. See, that's the amazing thing. But we want to welcome Tori. Are you there?
I'm here. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for taking time out your schedule to be with us.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be with you guys. Thank you so much.
Wow. Well, let's dive into this. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and the amazing things that's going on in your life.
Well, the amazing thing that's going on is I'm still here in my right mind. I thank God for that. But since you and I last talked and had our interviews and stuff like that, talked about our books, I had gotten married again, and then I got divorced again 4 months later. So at that time, I had stopped speaking altogether, stopped writing. I stopped doing everything. And so I was convicted because although I could have taken some time for myself to just take a break, I did it out of unworthiness. And that's not how God wanted me to do that. So he came and, let me know. I didn't tell you to do that. Not only did I tell you to do that, but definitely not to be because you're unworthy. And so it goes back to when David's daughter was raped by her brother. All that time she was still a princess. She had lost her role. It's just that her self-confidence had been shaken because of what had happened. But the thing that happened was not her. So God has shown me that as well.
Wow. That was powerful. We got to unpack that a little bit. Listen, because you've always been an inspiration to me. For you to just say that, on the airwaves is very powerful. But ladies and gentlemen, the point I want to point out, that means she's healed from that she can express that to us because she wants us to be better. She wants us to be to obtain our dreams, goals, and our, the things that we have going on in our life. So let's dive a little deeper into that because God, he has a way of showing us, and when we make decisions or, the things that we do. So how are you blossoming and the things as God has before you at this time?
It was just basically, it's almost kind of like one of them things that's over your head when you know that you're not doing what God has told you to do. And so remember in April, I don't know if I told you this, but April the 1st of 2001, God told me way back when I was going to be in marriage ministry. And, of course, I didn't know I was going to go through 2 marriages and 2 divorces unless I would have been like, no, God, don't do me like that. Do that to somebody else. I don't think I can handle that. And that was that it is what it is. You know, if God called me to do something, then I don't have the right to tell him. You know, just like how was it Abraham that said was it Moses that said I have a stutter? He was like, I'm using you anyway. I'll send Aaron with you, but you still gonna do the job I told you to do. So that's just how that went.
Wow. So pray for us as, you know, men, you know, I love you. But as women, you know, I think, you know, they say it's 3 times or 4 times as many women in the world or whatever than men. What advice that you give us? I mean, because it's all type of women. You know, I don't put women in one, you know, container, if you will. You know, it's ladies that desire to be married, women that don't desire to be married, and then some that's kind of in the middle. What do you think? Because I know everybody have their own, what they used to say, down in your sha-na-na, my grandma used to say, but everybody have their own thing that they will have a dream about. But what should we appreciate in ourselves? That's the key that I'm getting at, that you can help us with.
What? Okay, I'm sorry. It just kind of faded out. Just what's the what in ourselves?
No, the key is what I was trying to get across is, you know, there are all type of ladies in the world. Some that want to be married, some that maybe not, and some that may be in the middle that can't really decide which way. But the key is we have to be true to ourselves of who we are. And so I wanted you to address that a little bit because, you know, the thing that I remember here a long time ago that Jada Pinkett said that Will Smith was actually her icing on the cake, if you will. She already had the cake. He was just the icing. And so I think we missed that parable, I'm going to say, that she gives us. But that's what I want you to tap into a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, that's just really it. Like I said about David's daughter, she was still a princess. So sometimes things can happen and we lose our identity because of how we look at it. So life is going to happen. Life did happen. Life will happen. Life will happen again. But when we lose our identity in it, then that's where the problem is. So even like me personally, I'm a Christian. And so I have to be around other believers that if I lose myself, that I have to have other sisters around me that will say, nah, don't think like that. Don't. And so what the enemy does, he tries to trap you into thinking you're going through this alone, you're the only one, you know, and all that kind of stuff, when that's not true. That's a trick and a lie from the enemy. And so that's the thing, is that staying true to our identity as far as, you know, if that means getting up every day, getting back in that word, or listening to motivational speakers of people who've gone through, or something like that. But just being, the princess still never did lose her position. It was how she thought of herself after the thing happened. And so that's the thing that we have to, as women, accept that life is going to happen. Accept that, and then continue to know, but I am still a woman of God, or I'm still called, or I'm still, you know, this person, this great person, or this still blessed person. No matter what I go through, I have to bounce back, and I have to know that God is still with me so that I won't lose my identity. Is that what you were asking me?
You said that, girl. We're going to put an exclamation point 5 times on that one. Yeah, we have to do that as ladies. Lord have mercy. But tell us that, because you've been through a lot in life, but tell us about, you have some amazing publications, and I've actually, hey, you guys, you need to get them. I'm telling you, you're going to read it in one setting. You ain't going to give you like, I read this whole book. So tell us about your amazing publications that have taken you global, really.
Oh, my gosh. So the divorce is really what put me on the map, which was, I'm just thankful to God for that, because at some point after I wrote it, I was like, oh, my gosh, I done put my whole business out of here. But yet, like you said, people were reading it in one setting. So I was like, you know how long it took me to write this book, and y'all just reading it in 4 hours and 8 hours? But the thing that people loved about the divorce is I was so transparent. I was so transparent. I mean, again, I was embarrassed afterwards until people started emailing me and texting me and inboxing me about how it even helped them. I had one lady that stuck out, and she said, I read your book, and she said, I realized that I'm doing to my daughter what your mother did to you, and I believe I'm running her right to him. And so that was like, oh, my gosh. So at first my mother was upset about it as well, but then she come back, and I said, Mom, our story is helping people. So, she also was like, okay, that made her feel better. But as far as anything, and then as far as our relationship, it also healed our relationship as well, because she was really upset with me. You made me look crazy. But also now when my sister got married, she knew not to make those same mistakes that she made with me. Not saying that she was the cause of anything with my marriage. It was the relationship between her and I. Also, the thing that men loved about it was the men just felt like, okay, so Tori really didn't want to divorce her husband. She was really trying to get his attention, and then after a while I just kind of felt, I went ahead and went through with it. But I still loved him when I filed for divorce. I didn't stop loving him at that moment. And then even with women, sometimes we can feel like we're the only one going through this, or, why me, God? It's just so many things. Then postpartum depression, then depression, and black women, we pride ourselves on being a strong black woman. But sometimes we have those weak moments that we really do need our sisters, or for sure God, So that's what the divorce is about. It's just going through that journey, and that's why my eyes are on the front of the book cover, because I'm letting you see through my eyes about what I went through and how the effects had on me and the ripple effect it had on others around me. That was the divorce. Taboo was really, I wrote that a little bit after, maybe 2 or 3 years afterwards, because I stopped the battle, which was like the second half of the divorce. Like after the divorce, then you got to go through the battle, like the whole separation thing. But I still haven't finished writing that because, again, I stopped because I was like, I don't know if I want to just tell that part. I don't know if I want to say that, But now going back to the Taboo that is published, that was really kind of a mending between the church and the world. And I had two girlfriends, and I said, I think God just wanted me to write a book, but I think it's about sex and about, different things. And it's not a porn book, even though it has a how-to chapter, but it was about, we, as my friend said, well, I could see why he would do that, because we taking all y'all's men. And it was just like, wow, that was a wow moment, because the men are wanting to be more freaky, if you will. And, sometimes if we are in the Word, or we, sometimes it's just like, well, no, we're not supposed to do that. Well, no, we're not supposed to. Well, and so many affairs have been brought on because of it. Also, there's another thing I talked about is molestation, and the reason why children shut down after a while. So I talked about that. Just things that the church may not cover, I did.
Well, we need to know it, because that's what we need to talk about it, because that's the problem. Not talking about it is actually making it worse, in my opinion.
Yes.
Wow. Ooh, that got me kind of stirred up there. well, let me ask you this, because and just to even take that even further, that's what we have everything else on TV, everything else in the movies. We actually need to share the information of how people are going through things and how people can get through them to actually make a better life. Everybody go through things, don't end up in a bad situation. A lot of times is going through them, then you actually know how to govern yourself to do better.
Yes.
And when you go through, you know what I'm trying to say? Because I think the television kind of gets us a little bit that everybody has to end up in a bad situation. I still believe that it's still good when you go through, because we know from the Bible, right, everything works for our good. And we actually need to display that in our media outlets.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, tell us what's on the horizon for you coming up. You know, you have so much inside that you need to share with the world. Is there anything that you can share openly that we can just get on the bandwagon and support you with?
Well, at this moment, I'm taking the baby steps because, like I said, I just went through the other divorce, but not only that, last year I was engaged and then I wasn't, you know. So now this thing called Bounce Back 2020, which is why, you know, I had to start going to counseling. I'm like, look, okay, there's something wrong with what I'm choosing, and why do I choose like that? So I had to just go, okay, look, because there's only so much that our girlfriends can do or people around us, because, you know, they can only go off of their experiences, and that's true. But at the same time, I knew mine was a little bit deeper, and I'm like, okay, why do I choose how I choose? Because if I had married that guy, I would be divorced again. And so that's the thing that I had to just come to the realization, it's my choosing. So I had to go back and be like, okay, now I got to check my self-worth, you know, my identity. It goes back to the whole thing. And what's crazy is that the guy didn't realize that he had helped me, because at one point I told him, I said, you know what, I don't know if I've ever had a guy devalue me like that. He said, yes, you have. He said your ex-husband called you out of your name before, and he put his hands on you. And I was like, wow, you just put yourself in the same exact category as my ex-husband. You see what I'm saying? And so that's the thing. I thought, wow, I am choosing the same man. I have chosen the same man. So, okay, Tori, what's going on with you? And now how can we change this?
Now, Tori,
so while I'm on my journey for bouncing back, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I think you're going right into what I wanted to say. Go continue. I think you're going right on the path. I feel that you're
so while I'm on my journey of bouncing back, there's so many other people that are trying to recover as well. So that's why it's like, you know, when God said, okay, I need you to get back in this thing, because God knows I'm transparent. He knows I'm going to say it. Later on I might be embarrassed about it, but he knows I'm going to say it. And so that's the thing now that I'm on this bouncing back kick, you know, bouncing back, getting your identity back, get back into it, you know, do it afraid. That's the thing that God has me on right now. So I have to be obedient, even though I don't feel like I've gotten it all there. But in the meantime, people are still going through and still need the story about how I bounced back the first time, or what am I doing to bounce back this time. That's what I'm getting inboxed about now.
So you went right on into what I was going to say, because the thing about it is you being very transparent, and we respect that, and we gather with you and support you in your journey. But a lot of people, like you just said, is right where you are, and we don't know which way to go, which way. And then I'm glad you did give us some tips of what we need to do in this situation, because one, it is a journey. And number two, we have to, a lot of times, and I'm being transparent too, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of times what's the word? We put things, you know how this, here you go, what we used to do in the South, what happened in the house, stay in the house, so the same thing happened, what happened to us, we don't want to talk about it. And that has made us not good people. We're not our best version of ourselves. So we have to actually do that in order to better ourselves and to better, guess what? If you don't really have a why, let me tell you your why. Your children. Your children are experiencing what you're going through, so we actually need to take these tips and strategies that Tori's given us that we can do better. It's okay. You know, I'm in the medical field. It's okay to have counseling. It's okay to go to support groups. You know, I've run them, and I've been on in there with myself, listening and to better myself. And that's how people say, how you deal with all this stress and stuff like that. It's a journey, and I'm not afraid to express myself. I'm not afraid to say I need help, and that takes a process for a lot of people to just say that word, that phrase, I need help.
I need help.
Mm-hmm.
Because at some point, just like somebody just at least point me what street to walk down, to start walking down. And sometimes that may be all a person needs. It's just sometimes we all need something from someone. Whether we admit it or not, there's something I can add to your life, or there's something you can add to my life. We all need, everybody, no one has it all together.
Oh, that amen. I'm going to say amen on that. Oh, Lord, Tori, I can talk to you all day and night. Lord Jesus, do us a favor, and if we missed anything in our conversation, please address that. And please tell us how we can support you on social media, how we can actually, get your publications, and just be there because you're going to really change the world with having these conversations and having the I'm going to just say the guts, but having the Holy Spirit, what it really is, to be able to shed a light on what we need to be talking about, okay?
Okay. Well, I can be reached at authortorilynn.com, and that's all my social media handles. Everything, Instagram, Twitter, what's it called? Facebook, everything is under author Tori Lynn. AUTHORTORILYNN.
You're so amazing. I just love you. Anytime you want to come back on, but first of all, we want to say thank you so much for being in your purpose. And then, second of all, thank you for taking time out your schedule to be here with us on the Dr. Renee Sunday Show. If you need us for anything, please don't hesitate to contact us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Woo, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to replay this for sure because I need to be taking some notes because I know I hadn't arrived, okay? And the thing about it is, and I'm going to say what's on my heart right now, if you chew your nose up, don't, number one. But a lot of times when you hear information, if it's not you right now, it may be you tomorrow. Or it may be someone in your family or something like that. So jot the information down. Go back and check out the download it and jot the information. Get her contact information we have if you miss it, and we can connect you guys because it does take the whole village. As they used to say it all the time, but it is really true. We were born for relations, okay, to be in relationships, okay? So we actually need to be together. We need to actually help one another. That's what I'm saying. Here at the Dr. Renee Sunday Show, we love you. I'm in the medical field, so mental health is real. It's serious, right? Yes. And so if you need some help, we have a database of people, and we can, I can Google and go to some of my colleagues that's in another city, another state, another country. So don't let that restrict you, okay? We can find someone that can support you, and that's all what it's all about, is supporting each other. But if you want to be a guest here on the Dr. Renee Sunday Show, you can. If you want to learn how to do your own podcast, your own magazine, even if you want to do your own TV shows, we can teach you about that and finally get that book out, because what you're going to say in your book is going to transform in someone's life. See, that's what the key is. Our website is reneesunday.com. Again, that is Renee, RENEE, Sunday, SUNDAY.com. Please always remember, you do have a calling. You have a reason you were born. You're not a mistake. You're not a mistake. No matter what you said to yourself or saying to yourself right now, or what someone else has said, you're not a mistake. We have to do three things. We have to believe, we have to trust, and we have to walk it out. And you know the rest. We have to don't stop, get it, right? And what we're going to get, we're going to get our purpose, and we're going to get our purpose now. Right? I love you. I love you too. I love you. I truly love you. I'm not just saying that. But you know what? We love you. I'm not just saying that. Okay? But we'll see you next time. This is the Dr. Renee Sunday Show. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.